Hello, my name is John Bannon. I'm an attorney and philosopher. In today's video, I'm going to explain how superdeterminism destroys Albert Camus. This video is what they failed to teach you in college philosophy class about the philosophy of Camus. I've included 6 points on the board. I'm going to list 6 main points of Camus' philosophy and then explain why superdeterminism destroys each and every one of these points. When I talk about superdeterminism, I am referring to a unique and particular version of superdeterminism called Hansonian superdeterminism. This superdeterminism was proven by Dr. Johan Hansen in 2020. He's a Swedish theoretical physicist, and his proof can be found in the peer-reviewed journal Physics Essays, Volume 33, Number 2, June of 2020. Starts on page 216 and ends on page 218. It is entitled Bell's Theorem and Its Tests, Proof that Nature is Superdeterministic, Not Random. Under Hansonian superdeterminism, we live in a predetermined static block universe without cause and effect in physics or physical causation or probabilistic causation. This is a different form of superdeterminism than classical superdeterminism put forth by Dr. John Bell in 1985, because that classic form of superdeterminism involves hidden causal variables, whereas Hansonian superdeterminism, by disproving causation, cannot possibly rely on hidden causal variables. All right, so point number 6, no afterlife. So Camus did not believe there was an afterlife. However, under superdeterminism, because we live in a static block universe where all events, past, present, and future, exist equally, are permanent, um, and because those events include human thoughts and books, for instance, like the Bible, then Christianity itself is the predetermined, predominant world religion. This means that one can reasonably infer that God predetermined Christianity to be the predominant world religion because he intended this to be the message of truth to humanity. And Christian teaching says that there is an afterlife. So superdeterminism allows one to reasonably infer that there is, in fact, an afterlife. And in addition, because God can create our block universe, then he can create other special block realities, such as heaven or hell, as part of a block afterlife. Number 5, God is irrelevant to morality due to his silence. However, under superdeterminism, God predetermined Christianity to be the predominant world religion, which means God predetermined the static block universe to not be silent about morality. Uh, and in fact, God has predetermined Christian morality to be the predominant world religion. So God is definitely not silent when it comes to morality. Now, one thing you need to understand is that human thoughts are also physical realities in the static block universe, and they are also predetermined. So, in a predetermined static block universe, a predetermined future arm movement, for example, in order for that to exist, your conscious decision to move your arm must also be predetermined, which means consciousness itself has to be a predetermined aspect of the static block universe. The only thing in the area of our consciousness is brain particles, and those brain particles are a physical reality of the predetermined physical static block universe. So those brain particles must lead to the predetermined conscious thoughts that allow for predetermined body movements in the future, like me deciding to move my arm. So human thoughts on religion are also predetermined physical realities in the static block universe. Number four, Camus believed you cannot know metaphysical truth. Camus said that because the universe has no concern for humanity, then there's no reason to expect the universe to offer up any metaphysical truths to humanity. But under superdeterminism, human thoughts are a physical reality and predetermined aspect of the static block universe. Consequently, human thoughts can exhibit metaphysical truths because they are part of the block universe. So, number four is wrong. Human thoughts can indeed be predetermined to exhibit metaphysical truths about the universe and its causes or creator. Number three, rejection of theodicy. A theodicy is an attempt to solve the problem of evil. And the problem of evil is simply, well, if God is all good and all powerful and wants the best for us, then why does he allow evil to exist? Unless he doesn't exist. So Camus believed that there was no theodicy that could justify, for example, the agonizing death of a child. How do you justify a child dying from a disease like the plague, for instance? However, there is the evolution theodicy. And the evolution theodicy says that evolution creates life, life creates evil, evolution creates evil. God has no choice but to allow evolution in order to create life and have life exist under our laws of physics. And therefore, uh, that evil is necessary in order for the good that life is created and exists under our laws of physics. So, in the evolution theodicy, what you're saying is there are certain constraints on our laws of physics due to the deterministic or indeterministic mathematical laws that they follow and the reasons for those things. But that has the consequence that the only way to create life in that sort of laws of physics is through evolution. And evolution is the only known way to create life under our laws of physics, which indicates that God had no choice but to use evolution in order to create life so that life could exist. But evolution comes with behaviors we consider evil. It also produces evil pathogens that can kill children, like the plague. So it's the evil of the death of an agonizing child is unfortunate, but a result of the use of evolution to create life, which is the only way God can create life. So even the agonizing death of a child is justified in order for the good that life and people exist in our universe. Right, number two, live to rebel. So Camus said to live life to defy the meaninglessness through rebellion, negating the God's power over our spirit. We must imagine Sisyphus with a smile on his face. Camus used the story of Sisyphus as an example of what he means to live in a rebellious state against the meaningless of existence. And Sisyphus was condemned by the Greek gods to eternally push a boulder up a mountain, only for it to roll back down each time it reached the summit. And this embodies the ceaseless and ultimately futile toil that characterizes human existence. So Camus is saying life is absurd, it's a constant workout, and as soon as you reach the top, you can't go any further but down, and therefore the boulder goes down, and you have to continuously push the boulder uphill. So Camus is like, well, the best you can do is be happy in that situation, rebel against the situation, and put a smile on your face. However, under superdeterminism, you can't rebel against a predetermined reality without cause and effect in physics. Every event is predetermined, set in concrete in the block universe, whether it's in the past, present, or future. It's permanent and you can't change it without cause and effect in physics. So you literally cannot rebel. Even if you think you're rebelling, that is just predetermined rebelling, not really a rebelling. Um, you can, in a superdeterministic universe, go about living, seeking predetermined leading indicators of the type of block life where every moment is worth endlessly repeating. And because your block life is permanent, then living life is not futile. So, in a static block universe, every moment of your life, from birth to death, every event in your life, continues to exist in the static block universe permanently, which means you have a block life, a permanent block life. Even though you're only living in the present moment, your past moments of life and your future moments of life are still there. They're still in the block life. You're still actually statically repeating all those moments. It's just that in the present moment, you happen to be in one specific location in the dimension of time. Whereas you 5 minutes ago is in a location in the dimension of time 5 minutes earlier. You're still there 5 minutes ago doing exactly what you were doing and thinking that you were 5 minutes ago. It's just that presently you're not in that location, so you don't experience it in the present moment. So there is a point that life is not futile. You are living a permanent block life, which means you should try to make every moment of your life worth endlessly repeating because it is endlessly repeated. And in addition, uh, because Christianity is the predetermined predominant world religion and it promises an afterlife, then you can also seek leading indicators of an afterlife or block afterlife in heaven. So there is very good reason to live your life with purpose in a permanent block universe. And it is nothing like the futility of Sisyphus. And in addition, your block life has baked in meaning. The universal meaning of life is the predetermined role that your block life plays in the static block universe. So everything that's alive and has a block life has meaning. You can't get rid of your meaning because without cause and effect, you can't affect your predetermined static block meaning. Consequently, Camus would say life is meaningless, which is completely wrong. In fact, you can't get rid of the meaning of your block life, even if you wanted to. Number one, life is absurd. So Camus thought that there is a divorce between the human mind's desperate longing for clarity and the unreasonable silence of the world. So Camus is saying, well, we all want to know what's going on, but the world is silent. It's not telling us. So this is just absurd. Life is absurd. However, Camus is completely wrong under superdeterminism. And the reason is because all human thoughts, including the longing for clarity and understanding, are actual physical realities and aspects of the static block universe, which means that the universe is actually not silent at all because it has your predetermined thoughts as an aspect of it. And because of that, you can know metaphysical truths about the universe and its creator. So, superdeterminism allows the universe to break its silence uh, through the use of predetermined human thoughts, which are physical aspects of the block universe itself. All right, well, I hope you learned something, and I'll give you a second to read the board. All right, until next time, au revoir.